Friends, good afternoon to you. I think there is no
Good afternoon, sir.
information from the coordinator. So I think I should begin my lecture. Already we are late by 7 minutes. Friends, 21 people have joined. I do not know how many are the participants in this course. The title of my lecture is Role of Higher Education for Social, Cultural, Political, Spiritual, Economic, and Technological Development. It's very long topic. That means without education, we cannot have development in all these areas like social development, cultural development, political development, spiritual development, economic development, and technological development. Education plays a significant role to achieve all these dimensions of developments. Development does not mean today only having highways, nuclear weapons, Rafale aircrafts, fighter aircrafts, big dams. Now, in the contemporary world, the meaning of development has changed. Development today means how much human development is taking place, how much money you are spending on the health of the people, education of the people, on their social security, human security. Now we don't talk much about national security, we talk about human security. Now this education, we all are teachers. You and me belong to the same tribe. We are all teachers. We know the value of education. Before starting my lecture, I would like to read out to you one poster, handwritten poster. I will send this poster to you and a couple of articles for your reading after the lecture, which will be shared with you by your course coordinator. This handwritten poster was pasted at the entrance gate of a university in South Africa. The message was like this. The title of the poster was How to Destroy a Country, How to Destroy a Nation, How to Finish Off Yourself. Now, this poster says destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long range missiles. If you want to destroy any nation, be it a small country, a big country, a superpower, a middle power, a regional power, or any country, if you want to destroy that country, you don't need atomic weapons. You don't need missiles. It only requires lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in the examinations by the students, which we find in India quite often. If the low quality of education is there, if cheating in the examination is there, you will not have good doctors. Patients will die at the hands of such doctors, poor doctors. Buildings will collapse at the hands of such engineers if they have got a poor quality education. Money is lost in the hands of such economists and accountants. An economist has to be a brilliant analyst. If a poor economist, only I think the poor economist advised our federal government in 2016 to have demonetization. 85% of the currency of 500 and 1000 notes was withdrawn. Only a poor economist can suggest this kind of measure. Poor economists and accountants will ruin your economy. Humanity dies at the hands of such religious scholars. If religious scholars are poor quality scholars, if they do not have, if they are not understood the real message of religions and they try to interpret in a parochial manner to serve their own interests, then the nation will be destroyed. Justice also will be lost at the hands of such justices or judges who get a poor quality education. That was the reason why the Bar Council of India introduced 5-year LLB program, 5-year integrated LLB program. And the first law college, law university was established in Bengaluru some almost 25 years ago. Because the 3-year LLB, 2-year LLB was not producing good lawyers. The eminent lawyers practicing in the Supreme Court or High Court are those who have got foreign education. Kapil Sibal studied at Harvard. Abhishek Singh, Manu Singhavi, Abhishek Manu Singhavi is a Cambridge University product. Salman Khurshid, again a lawyer, studied in Cambridge University. The collapse of education is the collapse of the nation. This is the summary of this poster. If the education system has collapsed, that means the nation has collapsed. It means if you want to make progress, if you want to make development, if you want to make progress in all these areas, social development, cultural development, political development, spiritual development, economic development, or technological development. To achieve development in all these areas, you need to have the best education. I will quote a few, I will share with you a few quotations given by different people on the importance of education. Education is one thing no one can steal from you. Your property can be stolen, your dollars can be stolen, your money can be stolen, your house can be robbed, but not the wealth can be robbed, but not the wealth of knowledge. Now, knowledge always remains with you. It is the foundation of all progress and development. It is the real wealth of the nation. It is the key to the better future for all. And also it is the greatest equalizer that lifts all of us to a higher level. And you will realize that, you feel enlightened. All of you will feel that you have become Buddha, enlightened. Buddha was an enlightened person. He got the solutions to his problems. His problems were why there are miseries in the world. And he comes to the conclusion after 12 years meditation, thinking, reflection, analysis of the world's problems, that the main reasons or the causes for problems are the desires. And the desires originate in one's mind or heart. And if you control your desires, if you have minimum desires, if you follow the middle path, then you will make progress. In ancient India, we had Nalanda and Taxila universities. Those two ancient universities which did not survive attracted students from many foreign countries. Chinese used to study, and other neighboring scholars from other neighboring countries used to come and attend the university education. Today, we look at the West, because West has achieved development in all these areas: social development, political development, economic development, technological development. The university system, research system in Western universities is quite old. The first modern university, which was established in 12th century, is the Oxford University. In the 13th century, Cambridge University was established. Long ago, 12th century, from 12th century onwards, as soon as Europe started having Renaissance, because the church leaders, Roman Church, Holy Roman Empire was exploiting people. Lot of corruption had come in the practices of priests, clergy, leaders of the church, and they were selling even tickets to heaven. All of us know about it, how the Renaissance came. Renaissance came from, there were two important reasons for Renaissance. One was the Martin Luther, who was a German priest. He protested, he critiqued, he challenged Roman Church, that the church is exploiting people. Church was dominant even on politics. Church was not allowing scientific thinking. Religious leaders think that whatever happens in the world happens because God wills that way. If the problems exist, God wants that problems have to be there. If the solutions to the problems come, it is because of God, not because of human effort. That is the thinking of all the religions, whether it is Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism. You believe in the theory of karma. If somebody is born in a low caste today, we feel, according to the religion, that maybe that person had bad karma in the earlier life. That is why he is born in a lower caste today. These kind of concepts, these kind of ideas, theories, theory of the superiority of the race, Nordic race, Aryan race, cannot be justified in terms of science. Today's science has not come to the conclusion that some European races are superior and non-European races are inferior. All human beings are born equal as per God's design. But we differ because of the kind of training, education which we provide to our citizens. Martin Luther He challenged the Latin Bible, because Bible was written in Latin and Latin was already a dead language in the 12th century. He knew Latin. He was a German priest. When he challenged the Catholics, he said that selling of tickets to heaven are not mentioned in the Bible. It is extra constitutional, or not mentioned in the religious text, scripture. At the same time, Gutenberg in Germany had discovered printing press. Martin Luther translates, that was the first translation of Bible in any other language, because the original text was in Latin, like many of our Hindu religious books are in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not a Sanskrit is not commonly spoken nowadays. We speak Hindi, we speak other languages, but not Sanskrit. It is not dead language, but it is spoken by, as per 1981 census, only 6,000 people have claimed to have Sanskrit as mother tongue in India as per 1981 census. Out of more than 140 crore people, only 6,000 people claim to know Sanskrit, can speak Sanskrit, can write Sanskrit. It is almost dead language. Then such religious books have to be translated in the contemporary languages. After the Bible was translated in German, it was also translated in many other European languages, including English, Greek, Spanish, French, Russian, all the European languages. It was translated in European languages. A revolution of mind comes. Politics was separated from religion, and universities were established. Blind faiths were rejected by people. Superstitions were opposed. The second reason for Renaissance was that the Muslim rulers of Saudi Arabia, when the Islam in the 6th century, 7th century spread to many parts of the world, and it went up to Spain. Spain became a Muslim country. And the rulers patronized education, because the first verse of Holy Quran was about reading, knowledge, ilm. This is one word which has appeared more than 300 times, 500 times in the Holy Quran. That is, you are supposed to read, you are supposed to study. You are supposed to go to China to acquire knowledge. China was not a Muslim country. Now, the Muslim rulers patronized scholars. The scholars in Spain translated Greek classics written by Aristotle, Plato, and other philosophers of ancient Greece into Arabic language. From Arabic, they were translated into English language. And the world came to know about the gems or the treasure of knowledge of ancient Greek philosophers, thinkers, writers. Because that changed the thinking of the people of Europe. And the Muslim rulers of Spain had established the first university, first modern scientific university in Andalusia, in Spain. Those are destroyed now, like our Taxila doesn't exist. Nalanda, new Nalanda University has been established. The original Nalanda University doesn't exist. That disappeared. Nations and civilizations rise and fall. The processes and the reasons for the fall and the rise can be explained only by historians. Historical research can explain that. The point which I am trying to highlight is that Europeans, the Britishers, learned the value of education. And in the 12th century, they established Oxford University. Many other Europeans followed the suit. Many universities came up there. And gradually research was done. Scientific research was done. Technology was developed. And gradually progress, industrial revolution comes. Then after the Second World War, you have a better life, better medical facilities, better engineers. Between France and England, it is separated by ocean. If you travel by ship, it will take 3 hours from London to the border of France. But now the Europeans have no time. The Europeans have constructed undersea tunnel for Euro train, which will take you from France, the border of France, the coast of France, to the coast of England, near London, in just 1 hour. They have saved 2 hours. 2 hours journey they have saved. Technological innovation. Under the sea, train is going. In fact, if you visit anytime Oxford University, you will be surprised to know that in the ground floor of Oxford University Library, Bodleian Library, there is a train. The train, mini train, small train, not for people, but for books. Books have to be shifted from one place to another place. The books which are written by scholars, after borrowing and reading them, they need to be put in the proper stacks. Books are very heavy. That is why train runs at the basement of Oxford University. They have spent a lot of money on education. If you invest in education, that will give you better dividends. If you invest your money in fixed deposit in the bank, you will get 4% interest, 5%, 10% interest for a particular period. But investment in education will give you lifelong dividends. Your life will change, the life of the family will change, the life of the state will change, the life of the nation will change, and you will achieve, great progress. Because education breeds confidence, and confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace. With education, you can achieve a good life. Education itself is, life itself is an education. It keeps on teaching you for whole life. Somebody said if you construct one school, you have to close 10 prisons. If you open one school or one university or one college, your nation has to close 10 prisons, jails. Uneducated fellow can become a criminal, or he may do something wrong, or he may not be able to follow the law. He will be prosecuted, he will be punished, he will be sent to jail. In the educated nations, there are very few jails, and you can change the world, which is through the tool or weapon of education. You can change the entire world. And nowadays, how to measure education? In fact, we in India, we got the Constitution of India amended in year 2000. In year 2000, because of international pressure from the United Nations adopted 8 Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, 8 Millennium Development Goals. One of the goals was to reduce illiteracy by 50% between 2000 and 2015 years. 2015. By 2015, illiteracy had to be reduced by 50%. India has not achieved so far 100% literacy. We do not know the latest data because the last census, 2021 census, has not been conducted. I think not more than 70% people in India are literate, not educated. I am not talking about education. Education is much is a different has a different meaning. Literacy means you know how to read and write. That's all. The only state in India which is 100% literate is Kerala, which had achieved long ago this literacy. 100% literacy has been achieved in Kerala long ago because of communist governments. You have to invest money, you have to spend money on education. Indian Constitution was amended in year 2000. A new article in the Constitution of India was incorporated. The name of that article, the number of that article was Article 21A, which said, Article 21A said, Article 21 otherwise deals with right to life and protection of life. 21A deals with educational right to education. Every child between 6 and 14 years of age has to get compulsory, free, universal primary education. It was because of Millennium Development Goals that Atal Bihari Vajpayee government amended the constitution. Before he could implement that Article 21A, he loses power. Manmohan Singh government comes. UPA government comes. United Progressive Alliance government of Manmohan Singh takes charge in 2004. And in 2009, Parliament passes Right to Education Act. From 2010, 1st April, this act comes into operation. That means it is implemented from 2010. Now, after 2010, it is the duty of every parent to send their children to the school. It is the duty of the state to provide free, compulsory, universal primary education up to the age of 14. In fact, it should have been, up to 18. There is no demand from public that education should have been provided free of cost to all the children up to 18 years of age, because below 18 you are considered a child. After 18 years you become adult. Moreover, to pass matriculation, You have to go beyond 14 years education. If you get education only up to 14 years of age, you may be in 8th class, that's all. 16 or 17, you will pass matriculation. And matriculation is the minimum qualification nowadays to get the lowest government job, that is of chaprasi or P1. That is not available if you don't pass matriculation examination. And moreover, this act enabled the government of India to formulate rules. And according to those rules, the government of India is not spending any money on primary education. It is spent by people. Government of India is taxing all the citizens of India. Education cess, education tax. अगर यही करना था तो 1947 में ही करना चाहिए था. This could have been done in 1947 itself, so that we would have achieved 100% literacy in 1970s. If 100% literacy was there, Indian leaders, political leaders could not have fooled voters. In 70s, there was a slogan in elections, vote for note. Nowadays also the political parties spend a lot of money in education, bribe people for getting their support, their votes. Enlightened, educated citizens cannot be fooled, enslaved by the government. Now, the nation's progress doesn't depend on primary education. Nation's progress, political, spiritual, economic, or technological development is possible only when you have higher educational institutions. We got nowadays more than 1,000 universities in India, 32,000 colleges. India is a very large country compared to any other country in the world, including China. We have surpassed in terms of population China. We have many universities, many colleges. Nowadays, government is not spending money to establish universities and colleges. Private colleges, private universities are coming up. And these universities and colleges are only granting degrees. Qualified people are not being produced. Qualified teachers are not being recruited. That is why in 2015, the United Nations adopted 17 sustainable development goals. One of the goal is to have, it is concerned with education, and that is not to give education, quality education. Education which can prepare you for being a thinker, a reflector, because the purpose of education is to make you think and develop a mindset whereby you become a global citizen. That global citizen means you should be able to get a job anywhere in the world, if not in India, if you are really qualified. The education should teach you how to do critical thinking. Nowadays, critical thinking, criticizing government attracts punishment, boycott. You should learn the skills, communication skill, technological skills. You should be adaptable, have skills to adapt yourself to whichever country you go, adopt the cultural patterns, and you should be ready for mobility, upward mobility. Why, more students are going? I have somewhere data. I could not trace my data about how many Indian students are studying in foreign countries. How many $billion are going for their education? Because getting education in foreign universities, where you get the best quality education, your career opportunities are better if you get a quality education. If you get quality education from reputed universities, which are among the first 200 top universities, top ranking universities in the world. You have different ranking systems, and you will be saddened to learn that not a single university in India is among the first 500, top universities in the world, including our IITs. Nehru, the first prime minister, established 5 IITs, Indian Institute of Technologies. Now there are many IITs. He established All India Institute of Medical Science. Tata's had established Indian Institute of Science, which has done good research. There is a Tata Institute of nuclear research in Bombay, Bombay. Among the Indians who studied in India, only in India, and got Nobel Prize. What is the measure? What is the measure of knowing where we stand, whether our universities are better or not better? Because if you get Nobel Prize, we can say, oh, our scholars are doing good research, because research is needed, R&D is needed for development. So far in India, only one person, scientist, C.V. Raman, got Nobel Prize. Other 3 people also got Nobel Prize. Scientists, Hargovind Khurana, Chandrasekhar, and one more person got. But they are American citizens. They were born in India. But they have given up Indian citizenship. They were working in foreign universities, because those universities provided good salary, good academic environment, good research facilities, good funding facilities, and all the other facilities available in those universities. 2 other Indians economists got Nobel Prize. One is Amrit Sen, but Amrit Sen has not been teaching in India for the last 40 years. He was in Delhi University for 2-3 years after his PhD. He was professor at that time. Maybe he was 35 years of age at that time. He remained in Cambridge University. Then he moves to Harvard University, though he has retained Indian citizenship. Only one student who did MA Economics from Jawaharlal Nehru University, later his PhD from American University, and remained in America, got American citizenship, got American wife also. Abhijit Banerjee. He got Nobel Prize in Economics. Why our Indian universities are not able to produce Nobel Prizes? Not even Bhatnagar Award for scientists, which is given under the age of 45 years of age. It's like a mini Nobel Prize from India, Bhatnagar Award. You have to do path-breaking research for that. The reason why in India we are not able to produce Nobel laureates, we are not able to produce good scholars, scientists, is because low spending on higher education. We do not spend more than 3% or 2.5% of our GDP on higher education. Whereas advanced countries, including China and Israel, America, they spend between 5 to 6% of their GDP on higher education, on education. India, especially during the last 10 years, fundings have been reduced. Very few central universities are there. Many universities do not have regular teachers. You have part-time teachers, guest faculty, temporary teachers, ad hoc teachers, working on lump sum amount. How can they motivate students? This is one reason why we are not able to do cutting edge research in different disciplines, be they social sciences, be they natural sciences. We are not able to, achieve the parity. At one point of time, I remember in 1970s when Mrs. Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister of India, India had the third largest technical manpower in the world. Engineers, doctors, experts. But now we are nowhere. We do not have that position. We have come down. What are the reasons? What needs to be done to improve the situation? All of you are teachers. You may be having your own ideas, your own perspectives, your own arguments, which we will try to learn at the end of the lecture. I will keep around 10 minutes for question answers. 10 minutes in this lecture will be kept for question answers. And later, you can read the readings which I will be sending after the lecture. Some important material, reading material. At your leisurely time, you can read and get enlightened about, the importance of higher education for the development of any nation, for the progress of any nation. Today we lament that we have very few products which are made in India. We always get foreign products, including this the tallest statue of Sardar Patel. It was manufactured in China because that is now the tallest statue. Only, I think, Sardar Patel, who is the tallest leader, steel man of India, can know how far are the good days which Prime Minister Narendra Modi promised for Indians in 2014. Achhe din aayenge. So far they have not come because the policies of the government are not for improving the educational standards. Let's discuss what are the reasons. Number one, as I said, number one reason is low investment in education. If you want to make progress, education commissions Radhakrishnan Commission, Kotari Commission, or NEP 2020, or 1986 Rajiv Gandhi education policy of Rajiv Gandhi government, new education policy, all recommend for spending more than 5% of our GDP. 5% out of 1 rupee. 5 paisa you have to spend on education. 5 paisa, only 5 paisa. We are spending today less than 3 paisa on education. That is the reason why we go abroad for doing shopping of weapons, shopping of aircrafts. We are not able to manufacture aircrafts in India because R&D and research investment is not there. Number 2 reason. Just 1 minute, please. Hello, beta. हाँ 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 जी, कल भेजते हैं. मैं थोड़ा क्लास में हूँ, एक लेक्चर ले रहा हूँ. ठीक है. ओके ओके. The second reason, these days we have got lot of private universities. In the private universities, except a few private universities, like Ashoka University in Haryana, OP Jindal University, UGC scales are given for teachers, for employees. Assistant professor will be getting more than 1.3, 1.4 lakh rupees a month. 95% private universities are giving between 30,000 to 40,000 rupees to assistant professors in the universities. What can you expect from them? Can you expect that they will write good textbooks, good research papers, attend seminars, conferences? This is number 1 reason. And I know many universities where even the selection interviews do not take place. The chairman will see your biodata, will ask you to come from tomorrow onwards for teaching. There has to be a proper selection committee. Government colleges, government universities, proper selection committees take place, but sometimes political interference, nepotism in the universities, relatives of the authorities will get preference. I appreciated UP Higher Education Commission's system of recruitment these days. Earlier it was having many problems. People used to take money and offer you job. Recommendations, money, bribery, all these jobs were on sale. Why these paper leak for competitive examinations happens in UP, Rajasthan? You can understand the reasons behind such deliberate leakages. Nowadays in UP and Uttarakhand, I have been part of the selection process for college teachers. Now a better system has evolved. Good practices have evolved due to court cases and court judgments. Now the name of the candidate appearing before us, before the board, before the interview board, name of the candidate is not known, not written. Roll number will be there. By that we will not know whether the candidate is a Muslim, a Hindu, or a Christian, or a Dalit. Objective, impartial assessment of the candidate is there. Even we are not given information about from which university the candidate has done MA and PhD. Nothing is known to us. Based on performance, based on their depth of knowledge, based on the recommendations that the selection committee makes, people are offered appointment letters. The similar kind of system should be established for central universities and state universities. That has not been established. This is one way to improve, and this is one of the problem area. The third problem area, we are giving admissions in MA, BA, PhD programs in all the universities, and the government of India, UGC, have introduced an examination called NET examination, conducted by National Testing Agency these days. Earlier, it was conducted by UGC, then CBSE, and now it is NTA. This examination conducted by NTA for common entrance examination in MA or BA in central universities is defective. Why it is defective? Including NET examination, JRF examination, it is defective. Because all the questions are MCQs. No written component is there. We do not know whether the student knows how to write in English or in Hindi. I will come to this point. Language problem, I will come to that. Next point, I think I will take up language problem. Comprehension ability of the student cannot be gauged by MCQs. Depth of the knowledge of the student cannot be understood by MCQs. Whether the student knows research methodology or not cannot be known by MCQs. There should have been 50% of the question should have been subjective, not objective. You will at least know whether the student can write, can argue, can make a point, systematic. Can you discern systematic analysis from his writing? That is possible only in the written component. Now, AI technology, artificial intelligence technology, checks your papers because you don't trust human beings, you trust machine. This is nonsense. You should trust human beings also. Why not evaluate the copies by 2 experts? If only one expert is there, he may be bribed. If there is a difference in marks, call both of them and ask them to explain why somebody has given less marks, why somebody has given more marks. If there is a difference, huge difference of marking, the system can be improved. In foreign countries, individual university assesses your capabilities, your skills, your eligibility. Though there are language tests there, ELT English, whether you know English or not, how proficient you are in English, because most of the universities offer their courses and the research programs in English language, including in Germany, in France, in the Netherlands. Universities offer education in English language. That needs to be improved. The pattern of examination, competitive examination, entrance examination should change. Ask the universities to take the best according to their requirements. Also, you should have, according to new education policy, there has to be equity. Not only equality, but equity. Means some seats should be reserved for marginalized community, SC, ST, OBCs. Some seats have to be reserved. They may not be able to compete with the best students. Everybody cannot go to Ashoka University, Jindal University. If you want to do LLB in Ashoka University, every year 10 lakh rupees fees. 5-year course, 50 lakh rupees, half a crore rupees. If you do LLM, and some internship. By that time, you would have spent 1 crore rupees. Of course, you will become a good lawyer. By studying in government colleges, government universities, you may not be able to compete with the lawyers produced by O.P. Jindal or Ashoka University, because those universities are having foreign faculty also. Now, the third problem, language. I mentioned about language. Language is another problem. Medium of instruction. In India, we have two official languages according to the Constitution of India, Hindi and English. And in 8th schedule, 22 languages are there. Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Gujarati, Marathi, Manipuri. You know, even Sanskrit also is there in out of those 22 languages. They are state languages. PhDs in these states are written, research is conducted mostly in the regional language. In English language, it is not conducted. You have to be very clear. Higher education, at least the higher education has to be in English, which is a developed language. You have a lot of literature. Good textbooks are available. Now, NEP 2020 says even engineering and medicine has to be taught in Hindi language. I don't know why. Are there good textbooks available in Hindi language? World-class textbooks are available in Hindi language? If not available, have you made any program to translate standard English medium textbooks into Hindi? These are the questions to be pondered. These are the questions to be discussed. I learned about BHU, Banaras Hindu University, where classes, one classroom is for English medium, one classroom is for Hindi medium. That is okay. That is good. But why do you mix up both the groups? Many Europeans are multilingual. Can't we be at least bilingual? One English and one our own regional language, or Hindi, or Punjabi, or say Kannada or Telugu. At least we can be bilingual. Our one Prime Minister was knowing 14, 15 languages. P.V. Narasimha Rao was proficient in many languages. 14, 15 languages. But at least we can be, having two languages. One is English, one is our local language, or translations. Even in social sciences, good textbooks needs to be translated. If we are proud of our Indian languages and want to offer higher education in Indian languages, where do you get experts to evaluate your thesis, PhD thesis? If it is written in Hindi, it cannot be sent to any foreign country because the experts are not there. If it is in English, it can be sent to any country. Research journals are not available. UGC has prepared a care list journals. 90% of the journals listed in that list are useless journals, predatory journals, substandard journals, because some of the journals publish your research paper in just 2 days. In 48 hours. How can you get the review done? People are becoming associate professor by publishing 5 research papers, attending 2 refresher courses, 2 orientation programs in academic staff colleges, HRDCs or MMTCs, MMTTCs. Nowadays, it is difficult to become assistant professor and more easy to become associate professor in promotion scheme and professor also. Entry point is difficult. Why can't we prescribe that your article should be published at least in those journals which are listed in JSTOR, Project Muse, Taylor and Francis, that is Routledge, Sage, Palgrave Macmillan, Wiley, Eastern, Springer journals. Thousands of journals are available. Don't ask them to publish 10 papers, 15 papers. Ask them to publish at least one good research paper in 1 year. Because a good research paper, for a good research paper, you have to do at least 1 year's research. And please remember that good journals do not charge money. In fact, sometimes some journals give you money. Once I published 2 papers from Turkey. Turkey is not a very rich country like England, etc. They give $100 for each paper. And they do not have any fees for accepting your paper. Those things you have to keep in mind before you decide to publish in the journals. Now come for the teaching. What should be the teaching? How the teaching techniques have to be developed. A teacher has to prepare the lectures. Don't read only one book. Read 10 books. Read research articles on the topic on which you are going to deliver lecture tomorrow. Prepare your lectures. Prepare handouts. Give readings to the students. I remember there was one teacher in Delhi University. His name, he's retired now. He was Sardarji. Professor Randhir Singh in political science, my discipline. He was a very good popular speaker. Suppose today he is speaking in the classroom on Aristotle and praising Aristotle. All the students in the classroom will come to a conclusion that Aristotle is the best philosopher. Next day, when he is criticizing Aristotle in such a manner, in a logically constructed arguments, all the students at the end of the lecture will come to a conclusion that Aristotle is the worst philosopher. Art of lecturing. How do you impress your students? How do you force them to think, analyze, reflect, agree, disagree with you? And don't go for, because our traditional system, we all are products of that system. At the end of the year, when I did my graduation, there was annual system. Now there is semester system. At the end of the year, 100 marks paper will be there, question paper. No mid-semester examination, no mid-year examination. No internal assessment. No submission of research paper, no book review. No position paper. No review article. No seminar presentation. No classroom discussion. It was a one-way education. Teacher will come, deliver some speech. Many of the teachers were not able to deliver speeches also. What they were doing was they were passing time by dictating notes. Why should you dictate notes? In this age, 21st century, if your notes are good, compile them, write them, type them, send through email to the students. Don't waste time In the classroom, you teach them. You explain the concepts, theories, with illustrations, with examples, day-to-day examples. UGC introduced a program with the even I criticized Kapil Sibbal's when he was HRD minister, Human Resource Development Minister. He introduced e-Pathshala project. I was member of one of the committees in UGC. I opposed. I said this is a nonsense project. Despite my opposition, because I was the lone person who criticized this idea, because my idea was that why should we prepare write-ups? Why should we prepare notes, e-Pathshala notes, and upload in e-Pathshala website for the students? My idea, I want my students to prepare their own notes by reading 2-3 good textbooks, 2-3 good articles, integrating points and arguments and analysis from my own lecture in the classroom. Please remember Francis Bacon, what he had said about education. As a teacher, I will ask you to read Francis Bacon's essays. Each essay is of 2 pages, 3 pages. They are available on online. Francis Bacon's essays you can download. One essay is very interesting. One essay is very interesting. The title of the essay is Studies, on Studies. In that essay, some of the sentences have become proverbs. From that essay, I have picked up one sentence. That is, reading, writing, and discussion makes a man perfect. Only reading is not enough. You have to write also. What you have read, you have to write in your own words. You learn how to construct sentences. Even that is not enough. You have to discuss. Discuss means have seminars, conferences, discussion with the friends. In the discussion, you will come to know other arguments, other dimensions of that problem, other facets of that truth. Knowledge grows in discussion and you become a perfect man. Now, what is happening today? Ours is a one-way teaching process. Student does rote learning by heart. You have to remember and produce in the examination answer books. Why can't we have questions which does not assess your ability or capability to remember things, to remember facts, but to analyze, but to critically evaluate whatever you have acquired the knowledge. The exam pattern should change. Question should be not descriptive. It should be analytical. Your analysis, how the student can think. Create a hypothetical situation and ask the student how you will solve this problem. Sometimes we do it in the UPSC IAS examination. IAS interview, not examination, interviews. We create a conflict. Ask the student, suppose you are an IAS officer, you are a district magistrate, how you will solve the problem. Instantly, students' mind can be understood. This is one problem. One should not read material from e-Pathshalas. You can consult e-Gyan Kosh material. E-Gyan Kosh is Indira Gandhi National Open University reading material, which is of high standard, good standard, available for everybody to download. Teachers, students, anybody can download free of cost. Open University, United Kingdom, that was the first open university in the world, established in 1969. That the material of that university, Open University, England, can be downloaded. If this can be done, if good quality education is available in India, and if our some of the universities can come in the first 200 ranking of in the world, QS ranking times London Times ranking, or any other global ranking, then many of our students will not go abroad. You will save a lot of dollars. I got the information which I wanted to share with you. In 2022, that is 2 years ago, the total number of students, Indian students who were studying abroad in foreign countries, was 4.5 lakh Indian students were studying. How much money they were spending on tuition fee and living expenses? It is a government data. It is not my data. It is Ministry of External Affairs data. 28 to 30 billion US dollars were spent in 1 year. In 1 year, nearly 30 billion US dollars were spent on 2.4 lakh students who were studying in foreign countries. That much money we were spending on getting higher education. And those people who get education in those universities get immediately employment because they learn many skills. And they get, job, or immediately they will be able to have government job. It is said that in Harvard University, I am going to conclude because I had promised you 10 minutes for question answers. In Harvard University, that is the American university which has the highest number of Nobel Prize winners. If you take one stone and close your eyes and throw in any direction, it seems it will hit at least one Nobel laureate. It means many Nobel laureates are roaming around on the campus, and they will be hit by your random stone throwing. Can we build such a university, at least one university in India? We have NAC ranking system, National Institute ranking framework of the Government of India. These two, one is through, these are parliamentary acts. QS ranking, Times Higher Education ranking. One way to improve the quality of promising scholars is to provide more and more scholarships to study abroad. Rich people can send their children with their personal money. But what about poor students? Those who are economically weaker, from economically weaker sections. Foreign governments do have scholarships like Commonwealth Scholarship, Fulbright Scholarship, DRD German fellowships, Erasmus Fellowship, Ford Foundation Fellowship, and Indian government, Ministry of Education and Home Ministry scholarships also for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes to study abroad. I appreciated the British system for higher education. In Britain, any student who gets admission to do MA, PhD is given grants by their own government in the form of loan. It is a loan. Once you complete your studies and do job, you have to return back the loan. England is a small country. They can trace anybody, their own citizen. National ID is there. Like we have this Aadhaar card. You have the national ID there. You can ask the employers to deduct loan. Why not provide such facilities to all the eligible Indian students who want to pursue higher education. Because if they get admission in good universities, it means they are having potentials to get education to contribute for the development of the nation. Until we take corrective measures and increase spending in terms of percentage of investment in education from our GDP, at least 5 to 6%, if we bring our spending up to 5%, 6%, then we will be able to compete with the rest of the world. Otherwise, you will produce mediocres. Your own Indian government will not, ask for mediocres. Recently, 2 years ago, UP government had announced some posts of clerks in police department. Many PhD walas had applied for the job. It has two meaning. One is whether your PhD is not of worthy. Your PhD is of low standard, that is why you have gone there. If your PhD is of very high standard, you would have got a teaching assignment, a research assignment. Research institutes are also very few in India. We have only teaching job. In sciences, you have laboratories, CSIR laboratories. In social sciences, no laboratories. Entire world, entire India is our laboratory. We study human beings, we study their problems. No lab, no experiments. These are the problems. Friends, I think I took 1 hour, almost 20, 22, 23 minutes to deliver the speech. You have some 7-8 minutes. Deliberately, I have kept 7-8 minutes for you to reflect your mind, share your thoughts. If you agree or disagree with me. Now NEP 2020 wants to make internationalization of higher education in India. Indian education has to be internationalized. That is, as 4.5 lakh people are going abroad from India to study. Similarly, foreign students also should come to India. That is the idea. And the same report which I cited, Ministry of External Affairs report of 2022 says हमारे स्टूडेंट 4.5 लाख स्टूडेंट्स बाहर पढ़ रहे थे, विदेश में पढ़ रहे थे, और विदेश से इंडिया में जो स्टूडेंट आए थे पढ़ने के लिए, दे वेर 49,348, and our tuition fee is very little. Their tuition fee is very high. Even with very low tuition fee in India, students are not coming. Students from foreign countries are not coming because you do not have quality education. You can become Vishwaguru only when you get more and more Nobel Prizes, when you produce great scientists. Otherwise, just by saying that we have become Vishwaguru, people will laugh at you. The world will laugh at you. Thank you very much. 5 minutes are there. Some question answer session can be there. Yes, please. Any questions?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, this is Sayyid Zahid Parvez, Kareem City College, Jamshedpur. Sir, I want to know that what are the major 3 reasons for poor education provided in India?
I mentioned many of them. One is the low quality teachers. In private colleges, please mute your mic. हाँ जाहिद साहब सुनिए, कई रीजंस हैं, देयर आर मेनी रीजंस. when we have got our own education, which is of very poor quality, even if we are appointed as teachers, we will be very poor. The only way you can become expert is by doing hard work, reading, getting training, going abroad to do another master's, or you can improve yourself. You want to know three reasons. One is the recruitment, the corruption which is prevalent in India regarding recruitment. You may be knowing that Haryana Chief Minister, former Haryana Chief Minister, Mr. Chautala, spent more than 5 years in Tihar jail, along with his son, who was Deputy Chief Minister. For what reason? Because they had taken money to appoint school teachers. You see, school is the foundation. First 10 years are the foundation. If the foundation is weak, if the school teachers are weak, why can't, if PhD fellows are not able to get a government job in the university and colleges, why can't they be appointed as a school teachers? They can create good students. You need political will to solve the problem. The second reason is our the way we examine, the way we assess the students is also not good. It should be continuous evaluation. Seminar presentation, term paper writing, research paper writing, dissertation. Now the NEP 2020 wants that students in the 4th year of undergraduate course should write a dissertation, project work, book reviews. You have to change the educational system. The third reason I also suggested in my lecture, that the recruitment should be transparent. UPSC kind of body should be there to recruit college teachers, university teachers. Why give this recruitment power to the Vice Chancellor? Vice Chancellor will appoint people of his own choice. Why it should not be taken away? This power of appointment of teachers should be taken away from the university system and given to a body like UP Higher Education Commission, Allahabad. Like for central universities, you can have a Central University Teachers Recruitment Commission, like UPSC. These are three reasons. And also, good textbook should be there. Accountability is not there. Many teachers who do not take classes, they are not held accountable. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में कम से कम 20% टीचर्स अपनी क्लासरूम को जाते ही नहीं, क्लास ही नहीं पढ़ाते हैं. What action you are going to take against such teachers in the government universities? In private universities, you cannot afford to do that. प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी में आप 1 घंटा लेट भी आ जाएं तो आपका हाफ डे लीव लगा देते हैं. गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी में सब चलता है. अकाउंटेबिलिटी इज नॉट देयर. You have to also introduce accountability for everybody, for teachers, for students, for everyone. There has to be accountability. Any other question, please?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Zahid Parvez साहब, thank you.
जी सर, नमस्कार. मैं डॉक्टर अजय कुमार सिंह
जी.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है अबाउट जो रिसर्च जर्नल्स हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंग है कि जो भी रिसर्च जर्नल हैं उसमें हमारे बहुत सारे, जो कि मैं यहाँ पे डायरेक्टर रिसर्च भी हूँ, तो
अच्छा.
बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं मास कम्युनिकेशन के जो पीएचडी कर रहे हैं और वो अलग अलग जर्नल्स में अपने पेपर लेके आते हैं. उसमें लिखा रहता है पीयर रिव्यूड. जब से यूजीसी ने कह दिया है कि यूजीसी केयर ऑब्लिक या पीयर रिव्यूड.
हाँ, पीयर रिव्यूड, यस, जी.
तो पीयर रिव्यूड को हम कैसे पहचान सकते हैं, कैसे प्रूव कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि एक बाढ़ सी आई हुई है इस तरह के जर्नल्स की. तो और बच्चे भी किस तरह से, स्टूडेंट या स्कॉलर या इवन टीचर्स भी जो है किस तरह से इसको, क्योंकि इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मास कम्युनिकेशन, तो जर्नल्स है ही नहीं है, इक्का दुक्का जर्नल्स है,
बहुत कम है, बहुत कम है, बहुत कम।
जी। तो फिर जो हम कैसे उनको सजेस्ट करें, क्योंकि वो करते हैं और फिर पता लगता है कि उसको कैसे हम क्लेम करें या उनको कैसे बता सकते हैं।
ओके ओके, गुड क्वेश्चन, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, सब्जेक्ट स्पेसिफिक भी है। जैसा किसी किसी सब्जेक्ट्स में, सोशल साइंसेस में कई जर्नल्स आजकल प्रीडेटरी, फेक जर्नल्स, फ्रॉड जर्नल्स आ गए हैं, और यूजीसी की केयर लिस्ट में भी हैं, क्योंकि पैसा दे के वो इंक्लूड करा लेते हैं। तो आपके सवाल का जवाब ये है कि क्वालिटी कैसे अश्योर करें, वेदर योर पेपर इज ऑफ गुड क्वालिटी और नॉट। इसके दो मार्कदंड हैं। एक, जब आप पेपर लिखते हैं तो उसको डोंट सेंड इट टू इंडियन जर्नल। अब मास कम्युनिकेशन में देयर आर मेनी जर्नल्स पब्लिश्ड बाय रॉटलेज, पब्लिश्ड बाय वाइली, पब्लिश्ड बाय प्रोजेक्ट म्यूज, स्प्रिंगर, ये कई जो कॉन्ग्लोमरेट्स हैं, ग्रुप्स हैं जर्नल्स के, जिसमें 1000 जर्नल्स होते हैं ईच। इसमें आप वहां पे भेज दें पहले। वी नो दैट अगर क्वालिटी खराब है तो रिजेक्ट होगा, हमको पता है। बट मेनी टाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज, जब आप किसी अच्छे जर्नल को भेजते हैं तो अगर आपका पेपर रिजेक्ट भी होता है तो रीजंस बता देते हैं कि भैया ये कमियां हैं आपके पेपर में, ये कमियां हैं आपके पेपर में। साउंड थेरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड नहीं है, आपका पेपर का फ्रेमवर्क अच्छा नहीं है, लॉजिकली कनेक्टेड नहीं है, अच्छे अच्छे बुक्स, अच्छा मटेरियल आपने रेफर नहीं किया फॉर राइटिंग दिस पेपर। देखिए, जब अगर अगर आपका पेपर छप जाता है, इंडियन जर्नल्स में भी अगर छप जाता है, कहीं भी छप जाता है, सेज इंडिया कई जर्नल छापता है, या अगर आपका जर्नल, आपका आर्टिकल ईपीडब्ल्यू, इकोनॉमिक एंड पॉलिटिकल वीकली, जो बॉम्बे से आता है, हर हफ्ते आता है, लेकिन उसमें छपने के लिए 1 साल लगता है। जब आप पेपर भेजेंगे, इवेल्युएट होगा, अगर एक्सेप्ट हो गया, आपका एक्सेप्ट हो गया तो 1 साल लगेगा। 1 महीने में अगर बता दिया कि रिजेक्ट हो गया, क्यों रिजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, रीजंस बताते हैं। कई बार गुड जर्नल सेंड यू रिव्यूअर्स रिपोर्ट, जो एनोनिमस रिव्यूअर होता है उसकी रिपोर्ट भेजते हैं। अगर थोड़ा अच्छा खासा आर्टिकल है, आपका पेपर है, तो कहते हैं भैया इसमें ये कमियां है, रिवाइज कीजिए, आप रिवाइज करके भेजिए। तो इट इज नॉट टोटली रिजेक्टेड, इट इज पार्शियली एक्सेप्टेड, इट इज ओके, बट सम मोर इंप्रूवमेंट, फाइन ट्यूनिंग इज नीडेड। वो अगर आप फिर थोड़ी सी मेहनत करके फिर भेजेंगे तो हो सकता है आपका छप जाए। और आप ये जानना चाहते हैं कि आपका पेपर अच्छा है या नहीं है, कैसे पता चलेगा? पता ऐसे चलेगा, एक तो ये तरीका है जो अच्छे जर्नल्स को भेजिए। दूसरा तरीका है, अगर आप इंडिया में भी किसी नॉट वेल नोन जर्नल में छापे हैं, हमने कई पेपर्स अपने इंडियन जर्नल्स में छापे थे, लेकिन वो डिजिटल जमाना नहीं था, आजकल डिजिटल जमाना आ गया। वो पेपर्स वर्ल्ड में कई लोगों ने साइट किया, मेनी स्कॉलर्स हु रोट बुक्स एंड पब्लिश्ड बुक्स फ्रॉम ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी प्रेस, उन्होंने हमारे आर्टिकल्स को साइट किया। अगर आप किसी ऑथर के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं, मेरा नाम आप डाल दीजिए गूगल में, आपको पता चलेगा हमने कितनी किताबें लिखी, कितना साइटेशन अवेलेबल है। एक साइट है गूगल स्कॉलर। गूगल स्कॉलर विल गिव यू the names of the articles in that particular subject in which you have written, whether they have cited your article or not. अगर आपका आर्टिकल साइट हुआ है किसी किताब में, किसी आर्टिकल में, किसी रिपोर्ट में, उसका पेज नंबर आ जाएगा फौरन गूगल स्कॉलर सर्च में। गूगल स्कॉलर सर्च, देयर आर वेज टू नो हमारा वर्क कितना क्वालिटी का है, कितने लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, कितने लोग आपका आर्टिकल डाउनलोड कर रहे हैं। देयर आर साइट्स लाइक सोशल साइंस रिसर्च नेटवर्क, न्यूयॉर्क में है। आप अपने पेपर्स उस पे, आप अपना अकाउंट क्रिएट करके वहां अपलोड कीजिए, कितने लोगों ने डाउनलोड किया पता चलेगा। academia.edu एक प्राइवेट साइट है, उस पे कोई लोगों का अकाउंट है, मेरा भी अकाउंट है, मेरे सारे पेपर्स हमने वहां पे अपलोड किए हैं, कितने लोगों ने पढ़ा, कितने लोगों ने डाउनलोड किया, that digital data is available from that website. And sometimes you get invitations, अगर आप अच्छे राइटर हैं, अच्छे रिसर्चर हैं, कोई आपको सेमिनार के लिए बुलाएगा, कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए बुलाएगा, किसी कमीशन स्टडी में एक चैप्टर लिखने को कहेगा. Once I was asked to write a chapter for Routledge book, $500 फीस था उसके लिए, $500 हमको दिए, और वो पेपर ओसाका जापान में प्रेजेंट करना था, सारे राइटर्स की मीटिंग थी वहां पर. You know, you are encouraged. आपको खुशी भी मिलती है कि आपको इनवाइट किया गया है लिखने के लिए, फीस दे रहे हैं, पैसे दे रहे हैं, रॉयल्टी मिल रही है. You know, these are some of the ways to gauge whether your work is of comparable standard, if not very high standard, at least comparable standard. आप एटलीस्ट कंपेयर कर सकते हैं, भाई एक एवरेज अमेरिकन प्रोफेसर के बराबर हमारा काम है. Everybody doesn't get Nobel Prize, but at least of some quality, some minimum quality has to be ensured. Any other question, friends?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay Kumar ji. If there are no questions, we have already gone beyond our time. हमने 7 मिनट एक्स्ट्रा दिया है, और अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है, अभी भी कोई क्वेश्चन है, तो वी विल टेक अप एटलीस्ट 1 or 2 क्वेश्चंस. आप दिन भर थके होंगे, मॉर्निंग में भी आपकी क्लासेस होंगे. Probably you have no questions now, you are tired.
No sir, thank you.
अच्छा. तो हम आपको कुछ रीडिंग मटेरियल भेजेंगे, उसको थोड़ा पढ़ लीजिएगा. हाँ जी, कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं मैडम नंदिनी जी.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much
अच्छा,
for your
thank you.
session. Brilliant
Okay.
session.
Okay जी, thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
थैंक यू सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.